My child, pause for a moment and listen amid all the noise of this world, amid the noise of your own mind, amid your fear, your exhaustion, and your questions. This voice is for you, only for you. Because you think no one hears your silence, but I hear every breath you have taken with a heavy heart. I know every night when you pretended to sleep with a smile while breaking inside. I recognize every moment when you told yourself, just endure a little more, and still got up in the morning and kept going. You think you are merely surviving, but I know you are being shaped slowly, refined in fire, so that when the time comes, there will be no cracks left in your soul. You look at yourself in the mirror and see only fatigue, slumped shoulders, dim eyes, and unfinished dreams. But I see you from a place where there is no end to you, only preparation. Because every wound that made you cry, every failure that silenced you, every waiting that made you restless did not come to weaken you, they came to deepen you. You think you have fallen behind, that everyone else has moved ahead, that perhaps your train has already left. But my child, your journey does not run on someone else's clock. Your time is not decided by comparison with others. The clock of your life rests in the palm of my hand. And what feels like delay to you is actually your protection. You remember the days when you laughed more, dreamed more, and feared less, and now you feel that life has taken all that away from you. But the truth is, life has taken nothing from you. It has taught you depth. It has taught you how to stand without applause, how to walk without support, and how to believe even without answers. You blame yourself for the moments when you broke, when you cried, when you came close to giving up. But do you know those were the moments when you were most real? Because showing strength is easy, but standing even after breaking is the work of the soul, and you did that. You think you are alone, that this battle is only yours, but I have walked with you at every step, even at those turns where you thought no road was left, and even in those darknesses where you could not see your own hand. My child, you have come much farther than you realize, but you could not see your progress because you kept looking at your wounds, and the one who looks only at wounds often forgets how they survived. You compare yourself to people whose lives look shiny from the outside, but you do not know their battles, and more importantly, you do not know the value of your own battle. Every time you fell and stood up again, every time you told yourself one more time, every time you swallowed your pain and fulfilled your responsibility, you built within yourself a strength that is invisible, but when the time comes, it can move mountains. You ask, when will it finally change? When will that morning come when everything feels easier? When will I get a sign that I am on the right path? And I want to tell you that change does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes it happens in the roots, beneath the ground where no one claps, but it is there that it is decided whether the tree will fall in the storm or remain standing. Your prayers have not been lost in the air. They are working within you, shaping you into the kind of person who can hold the answer you have asked for. Because if everything came too quickly, perhaps you would break. And I have not come to break you. I have come to shape you. My child, you have endured so much in silence, without complaint, without showing how much exhaustion has accumulated inside you. And you did this because you wanted to be strong. But listen, you do not need to be strong all the time. You are allowed to be human. And where you feel you are falling, that is where I am closest, ready to catch you. You think that if you get tired, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, everything was never on your shoulders to begin with. And letting go of the burden that is crushing you is not defeat. It is the beginning of trust. The discomfort you feel now, the restlessness that keeps you awake at night, the questions that keep circling inside you, are signs that you are coming out of an old shell. and coming out is always painful, because what is familiar feels safe, even when it is small. I am taking you toward places where you have never seen yourself before, and that is why you are afraid. But fear is proof that you are not stagnant, you are growing. My child, this is only the beginning. This is the chapter where you are still asking questions, still looking back, still doubting yourself. But remember, in every story, in every journey, there comes a turn where the hero no longer recognizes themselves, and that very turn brings them closest to who they truly are. You are on the way, and being on the way does not mean you are lost. It means you are moving, and the one who moves is the one who changes. So for now, let your heart breathe a little. Make a promise to yourself that you will not abandon yourself, because what is coming will be deeper, calmer, and truer than you can imagine. But for that, you must first accept that you are not broken. You are being prepared. My child, now I want to take you to that place you often avoid, because that is where your oldest questions are hidden, where that part of you sits that is quiet but wounded. The part that learned long ago that hoping too much leads to pain, so it learned to hope less. And you call this wisdom, but the truth is, this is the fatigue of your soul. You look normal on the outside. You work, you talk, you fulfill responsibilities, but inside there is an emptiness you cannot put into words. And many times you ask yourself that if everything is fine, then why does this heaviness not leave? Why does this restlessness not let go? And I want to tell you, this is not a flaw, it is a call from your true self that you left behind while managing life. You learned very early to grow up, very early to be strong, and very early to believe that your needs were not that important. And this is where your pain began. Because the child who convinces themselves, "I don't need much," grows up telling themselves the same thing, even when their soul is asking for something more. My child, you tried again and again to prove that you are capable, that you are enough, that you are not a burden, and in that effort you grew tired, because the truth is, the one who keeps proving themselves is afraid that if they stop, they may not be accepted as they are. But listen, your acceptance was never dependent on your performance. It is not now, and it never will be. You were valuable even when you were crying, even when you were close to giving up, and even when you could do nothing at all. You remember moments from your past when no one understood you, when you said something and it was taken lightly, when your pain was ignored because it felt inconvenient, and that is where a wall formed inside you, a belief that I have to handle everything myself, and that wall both protected you and made you lonely. Even today, you do the same, enduring with a smile, hiding pain in jokes, and lying awake at night wondering if a day will ever come when someone understands you without explanation. My child, do not think I am unaware of any of this, because when you first decided that you would not fully trust anyone, I was there. And when you wiped your own tears for the first time, I was there. And when you told yourself, "It's okay, I'll manage," I was there. You think your sensitivity is your weakness, but it is your greatest strength, because the one who feels can live deeply, and the one who lives deeply can truly change. You fear that if you open this part of yourself, everything might fall apart. But the truth is, what is suppressed causes damage inside, and what is accepted begins to heal. My child, this journey is not only about outer success. It is about that inner peace you kept searching for in money, praise, or achievements, but which was never there, because peace does not come from outside, it comes from within. And going within requires courage, the very courage you think you lack, but which you prove every day simply by surviving. You look at people who seem full of confidence and think something must be wrong with you, but confidence is often a layer placed over pain, and the one who is truly connected to themselves is quiet, not loud, and that is the quiet your soul is seeking. My child, this restlessness is a sign that your soul is tired of old compromises, relationships where you kept shrinking yourself, habits where you kept ignoring yourself, and identities where you became what the world wanted instead of who you truly were. The discomfort you feel now is not of breaking, it is of changing. And change always brings confusion first, because the old is breaking and the new is not yet clear. You think you are lost, but in reality, you are returning to yourself, to the truth you suppressed for a long time. My child, you do not need to understand everything right now. You only need to stop fighting yourself, stop blaming yourself, and accept that what you are feeling is valid. Because this is where healing begins, and this is the point from which your story will shift from merely enduring to truly living, because what is coming will not make you stronger, it will make you real, and truth is the ground on which lasting peace is built. My child, now I have brought you to that turning point where most people turn back, because from here on, what is needed is not strength, but trust. And trust feels hardest when all the evidence seems to favor fear. You have experienced many times in your life that when you let go of control, things fell apart. And because of this, you clenched your heart into a tight fist so that nothing could slip, so that nothing could hurt you again. But you did not realize that the hand that stays tightly closed is the first to grow tired. You want to understand everything, know the reason behind every step, see every outcome in advance, because uncertainty frightens you. It takes you back to those old moments when you were hurt without warning, and then your mind says, if I keep everything under control, maybe I will be safe. But my child, safety does not come from control. It comes from trust. You mistook fear for wisdom, caution for intelligence, and a closed heart for maturity. But the truth is, fear only keeps you small. It does not stop you from moving forward, it only stops you from seeing ahead. Faith is not blindness. Faith is the courage that says, I cannot see the whole path, but I will still take one step forward. And that is the step that changes life. My child, the restlessness you are passing through right now is not because you are on the wrong path, but because you have stepped off the old one, and the new path is not yet clear. And this empty space is where fear and faith are tested. Fear says, go back, at least the pain there is familiar. And faith whispers, wait a little longer, something new is being born here. You often think that having faith means you will feel nothing, but the truth is, faith is moving forward despite fear, placing a step even when your hands tremble, and saying, I will still walk, even when your heart feels heavy. My child, the moment you believe you must handle everything alone, you deny yourself the support that has always been with you, because you were taught that asking is weakness, resting is laziness, and trusting is risky. But I am teaching you that asking is connection, resting is healing, and trusting is freedom. You think that if you let go of yourself, no one will come to catch you. But the truth is, you were never abandoned. You were simply so busy holding yourself together that you did not feel the hand that was already holding you. What now looks like breaking in your life plans collapsing, relationships changing, identities being questioned, is not destruction, it is realignment. Because sometimes the old structure must fall so that a new, truer one can be built. And this process is quiet. It happens within. My child, for a long time you measured yourself by how much you could endure, how much you could tolerate, how much you could